Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Welcome. Happy Vasanti Ras. Happy Baladev Rasa Yatra. Here in Vrindavan, or in India, they're celebrating Hanuman Jayanti. And also, it's the appearance of Shyamananda Prabhu and Vangshi Vadan Thakur. So we'll begin on page 1 with Mangalacharan.
Saraswati Tina
Page 75. Kabe Shri Chaitanya More, Puri Bena Doya. Chaitanya Nitaya Pada Kamala Jyoti Chandra Shushitala. Page 58. Prabhu ki jai. Want to lead a special one for Guranga? Any special one you would like to lead for Guranga? Guranga to Memore, page 78. Gaurango tumi more doyana chari ho Krishna.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, page 343.
Could I go a little higher? What page?
343.
343.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam
Krishna Devam Bhagavatamrita Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Jaite. I think it's page 341. Anyone?
You lead. Lawful?
गिरिराज महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदान्त नारायण नित्यनामिने। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same into the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaisnavas past, present, and future, including those who are watching on Facebook Live, I offer my Dandavat Pranam. So today I was going to continue with going beyond Vaikuntha, but today here is also a very special, important day. Today is the anniversary of Krishna Vasanta Ras, means when Krishna does Rasa Lila in the Vasant season, springtime. It is also Balaram Rasa Yatra, when Lord Balaram came here and also performed his Rasa Lila pastimes. It is the appearance of Shyamananda Prabhu, of Radha Shyam Sundar significance, and it is also the appearance of Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Also, according to the local calendar, this Purnima is also Hanuman Jayanti, which is the appearance day of Sri Hanumanji. So it is a very important, big, special day full of so many beautiful pastimes and very important pastimes for us actually. So I would like to speak something on this day about these particular subjects. Since I don't know much about Bhaktivedanta Thakur, I would like to start with speaking something about him, that he is an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Gauragana Deshadipika it is said that he is the incarnation of Krishna's flute, and that when Mahaprabhu left and took sannyas, he instructed this Bhaktivedanta Thakur to stay back and look after Mother Shachi and Vishnu Priya. According to Sri Brahma Samhita, in the verse Shriya Kantaha Kantaha Parama Purusha Kalpatarvo, there it says, Kathaganam Natyam Gamanamapi Bangshi Priya Sakhi. The flute or Bangshi of Krishna is his dearest Sakhi. Bangshi Priya Sakhi. In fact, the flute is so dear to Krishna that he's always searching for it. The gopis are taking it and hiding it, playing games with him, and he's begging them, please, I need my flute. Do you know how powerful, how special this flute is? They're like, it's just a piece of bamboo. And he's like, no, 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 it's not any ordinary bamboo. It is so powerful that even if you're asleep in your homes, it has the power to call all of you to come to me. How powerful is my flute? Even what Krishna himself cannot do, his flute song can do. It can go into the homes of everyone, knock on their doors of their ears, enter and steal their hearts and run back to Krishna. So this is the power of Krishna's flute, his vangshi. And they're also quite jealous of his flute. How is it that that piece of wood, that piece of bamboo, which is just some substance cut from a tree, how is it that that bamboo is so fortunate that it has been able to take what is our property, which is the Adharamrit of Krishna? It is always being kissed by the lips of Krishna. And so they feel some transcendental jealousy toward Krishna's flute. Anyhow, it is said that Bhaktivedanta Thakur is the incarnation of Krishna's flute. We should understand that everything in Vrindavan is conscious. Chidanandam Jyoti. Every particle of dust is conscious. Everything is conscious and full of love for Krishna. So the flute is not just some ordinary stick, some piece of bamboo. The particles of dust, the stone, everything. The stone also reacts to Krishna while he is playing his flute. It becomes so overwhelmed in ecstasy that although normally stone is hard, it begins to melt, and Krishna's footprints are there in the stone. Anyone else who was also present there when he was playing his flute, including the cows, if they were there, their footprints also went into the stone. So this is showing that those stones are not ordinary stones, they are Chintamani. Chintamani prakara sadmasu, kalpa vriksha, lakshavriteshu surabhir, abhipalayantam, Lakshmi sahasra sata sambrama sevyamanam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Vrindavan is Chintamani. Vrindavan ramya sthana divya Chintamani dham. It is transcendental. Every particle of dust is capable of fulfilling any desire of anyone, but it is also capable of awakening the desire, the greed to serve Krishna. Every particle of dust. Every tree is like kalpa vriksha. Means it can also fulfill any desire. But there's only one thing which is saturating the heart of every particle of Vrindavan. And that is love and service to Krishna. Every cow is surabhi. Means they can also fulfill every desire. Kamadhenu. Every cow of Vrindavan. Every personality there. Everything is conscious. So that flute is not just some dull instrument. That flute is Krishna's prized possession. And that same flute manifested in the form of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, whom Mahaprabhu told you should stay with Mother Shachi and Vishnupriya while he was experiencing his sannyas lila. That flute is so dear that when, we will speak about it later, but when Krishna saw Gopkumar with a flute, he just saw this person dressed as a cowherd boy. He was sitting in Dwarka on his throne, and this boy came in looking like a cowherd boy holding a flute. And although Krishna was there as a king, in Dwarka Krishna does not have a flute. You can find this everywhere in Shastra. He also does not wear a peacock feather. There he's wearing a helmet. He's wearing all sorts of very expensive jewelry and clothing as a king. 16,108 palaces, 16,108 queens. He's living like a king there. He doesn't have peacock feathers in his hair and a rope for tying cows and a little flute in Dwarka. Sometimes in Dwarka he's manifesting his four-arm form with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And everyone there knows that he is God, he is Bhagavan. In Vrindavan, they don't know that Krishna is God. They only know that he is their dearest person, the life of their life. So, when Krishna saw this boy in Dwarka, he saw him with this flute, dressed like a cowherd boy. Immediately, Krishna began weeping and weeping, crying in remembrance of Vrindavan, of those sweet, carefree days when he was able to run with his friends in the forest with the calves, how his mother would give him sweets, and how she would so lovingly take care of him, how his gopis would love him. He was remembering all of Vrindavan and all of his sweet pastimes of Vrindavan the moment he saw that boy dressed as a cowherd boy holding the flute, and he became completely stunned and was weeping and weeping. How dear is the flute to Krishna. So Shri Vangshivadan Thakur ki jai. Today is also the appearance day of Shri Shyamananda Prabhu. And this is very significant for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas. As Shri Shyamananda Prabhu was born, I think he was the 8th child of his parents. Many of those children previously had passed away. All of them. So there was a high mortality rate previously in India, and parents would often name their children bitter or sad names. Like Mahaprabhu, his previous siblings, most of them also passed away very young. And because of that, he was born under a neem tree, and he was named Nimai to ward off any evil. Neem is very bitter. So he was named Nimai, and he was born under a neem tree to ward off any negative thing. Mother Yashoda put black kajal on Krishna's eyes, black spot on his cheek, black strings around his waist. For what purpose? To ward off any negativity that would come to him. When Mahadev came with skulls and snakes and looking very fierce, this yogi came to Mother Yashoda, to Nanda Bhavan, and he wanted to see Krishna. She didn't realize it was Mahadev that time. She was just thinking, I can't show my son to this. He's like, I want to see your son. She was like, no, he'll be afraid. He'll cry. I can't show him to you. And he said, I won't leave this place until you bring him. So what did she do? She dressed him up all in black. She put black kajal, black dots, completely covered Krishna in black. And then she brought Krishna out and only showed it for one moment to this Mahadev, who was looking very fierce. At that moment, Mahadev was completely satisfied, having had darshan of Krishna, but she only showed for one moment. So, coming back to the point, the parents of this boy, they named him Dukhi. Dukhi means unfortunate or very sad. Sukha or Sukhi means happiness. Dukha or Dukhi means sad or miserable or unfortunate. So they named him Dukhi so that no one would be, no bad influence would come to him. This was out of affection and care for him. So when he grew up, then later on he came to his Gurudev, Hridaya Chaitanya. And his Gurudev gave him the name Krishna Das. So from that time he was known as Dukhi Krishna Das. Dukhi Krishna Das. His Gurudev, Hridaya Chaitanya, was in Sakya Bhav. Hridaya Chaitanya means that Chaitanya entered his heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered his heart. So he was a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu had many associates from many different leelas. All parikar from all different leelas were there. Those in Vatsalya Ras were present. Those in Sakya Ras were present. Those in Madhurya Ras were present. Those in Shanta Ras were present. Those in relationship with Srinam and other avatars were also present, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna. Radha Bhava Dyuti Srivalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. He's Krishna himself, but Radha Chintani Veshena Yasya Kantir Vilopita Shri Krishna Charanam Mande Radha Alingita Vigraham. Srimati Radhika completely embraced his body from every part of herself, completely. Alingita Vigraham. So he is Krishna completely covered with the bhav and the complexion, the sentiment and the complexion of Srimati Radhika. But he is Krishna, Avatari, the original from whom all others manifest. So when the original form comes, then all others can come and associate with him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is no ordinary form, he's a very special form, Mahavaranyaya. He is the most magnanimous form of the Lord, coming to awaken Krishna Prem in all. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya namne Gauratvishe namaha. So one of his associates, this is Hridaya Chaitanya. He was in Sakyaras. That means his intrinsic, internal, eternal nature in relationship with Krishna is as a cowherd boy. This Dukhi Krishnadas, his intrinsic, inherent, internal nature was not as a cowherd boy, but was in Gopi Bhav. Means the mood of a Gopi, or a maidservant of Radha and Krishna. So according to Shastra, there is like a progression. If you look in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, from Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras. Anyone in any ras can help you up to their level. But if you need to progress further, because a real guru does not have anything to take from you, but only wants to push you and increase your serving mood, your bhakti toward Krishna. This is their nature. They want to bring you to perfection. Then if any guru is helping you, up to a certain point they will help you, but if they see that you need to go further, then they will give you instruction how to make further progress. In that case, a Shiksha Guru is necessary. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita very explicitly states that only someone who is a gopi can inspire or awaken the bhav of a gopi in anyone's heart. And only someone who is a gopi can broadcast the moods of the gopis all over the world. The shlokas are there directly in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this Dukhi Krishnadas, he had learned up to a certain point, but then he came to Vrindavan. At that time, it was well known that Srila Jiva Goswami was the undisputed leader of the Vishva Vaisnava Raja Sabha. This means the Vishva means universal association of Vaishnavas. And all the three main dhams, in Brajamandal Dham, in Navadvip Dham, in Jagannath Puri Dham, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes, Jiva Goswami was the undisputed leader of the Vishva Vaishnava Raja Sabha. And so many sent their disciples to Jiva Goswami for further instruction. And also if anyone wanted any recognition, means in terms of their position or anything, they needed the stamp of Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami, of course, we understand that he is a eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an eternal associate of Rupa and Sanatan, who are maidservants of Srimati Radhika in Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami is also in Brajalila, Sri Vilas Manjari, maidservant to Srimati Radhika. So because he's of that nature, he is able to give help to anyone who is of that nature. Does that make sense? Our Gurudev would frequently explain that only someone that has something can give that thing to you. If I only have $5, can I give you $1,000? No. I can only give you what I have. So if I don't possess Gopi Bhav, then how can I nourish your Gopi Bhav? I cannot. So Jiva Goswami was there also to nourish the bhav of those who had that mood to their completion. So this Dukhi Krishnadas, some say that Hridaya Chaitanya became angry, but our Gurudev disputes that. Maybe it might be seen externally in one way, but internally a real guru can never become angry if their disciple is making proper progress. This is not the nature of a real guru, who is a knower and seer of the truth. That if someone is able to help their disciple to progress toward perfection, why would they become upset or angry? So this Hridaya Chaitanya sent his disciple to Srila Jiva Goswami. This disciple, Dukhi Krishnadas, remained under the care of Jiva Goswami and was learning how to serve Radha and Krishna. And he took up the seva of sweeping the kunjas near Nidhuvan. There's a place there near Keshi Ghat on the banks of Jamuna known as Jharu Mandal. So there he was sweeping. And one day as he was sweeping, he found something. He found a bell, like a bell from an ankle bell. He found an ankle bell. Not the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh.
An ankle
I
bell.
thought it was a bell from the anklet.
No.
I've read it different ways. Okay, so I'm being told that it was the ankle bells from one foot. So he found this as he was sweeping, and he brought it back to his Gurudev. Because the main aspect of bhakti is that it must be in anugatya. Means everything that we're doing in the process of bhakti should be under guidance of a real bhakta. Tishtan braje tad anuragi jananugami. This is Rupa Goswami's line, the most important line of the essence of all advice. To reside in Vrindavan under the guidance of the anuragi jan. Means that person whose heart is overflowing with spontaneous love and affection for Sri Radha and Krishna. This is the main, most important thing. From that, everything else automatically manifests. Tannama rupa charitari sukittananu smrityo kramena rasanam manasi niyojya. That will naturally take place if one is under proper guidance of an anuragi personality. So this Dukhi Krishnadas, he went and showed this to Srila Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami said, whatever you do, only give it to the owner, do not give it to anyone else. So he took that instruction deep into his heart. Next day he was out sweeping the kunja with so much love, care, and affection. At that time, some girls came by, young girls. Hey Baba, Baba, did you find anything when you were sweeping here? He said, yes. They said, oh, it belongs to our Sakhi, our girlfriend. Give it to us. He said, no, I will only give it directly to the owner. And then they started to abuse him. Hey, what kind of Baba are you? You want to see our girlfriend. Nonsense. And they started saying so many things to him. But he followed the order of his guru as it is. This is a very important instruction as well. The order of Sri Guru is the life and soul of the disciple. So he followed the order of his guru. So he said, no, I can only give it to the owner directly. That put them in a quandary, what to do. Because no male form can go in front of that particular owner. So they said, okay, but on one condition, we put a blindfold on you. He said, no harm. So, he put a blindfold on. And then he entered with them into the Nikunja. But no male form can enter. So without even realizing it, having been completely absorbed in serving day and night and remembering the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, following the order of his Shiksha Guru, who is non-different from his Diksha Guru. Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru are one. It is actually the same Krishna appearing in different forms. Right? That same Krishna, Chaitya Guru, is manifesting externally. So this particular form of his Guru, Sri Jiva Goswami, gave him this particular instruction, understanding who these bells belong to. So when they brought him in, it is said that he immediately transformed into his eternal, transcendental, spiritual form in relationship with Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. And then when he came before the owner, at that time, he was already in his feminine form as a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. And there he was able to put that ankle bell on Srimati Radhika. And she was so pleased with him, she pressed that ankle bell into his forehead. And it created a very special tilak mark, which is the tilak mark of the Shyamananda Sampradaya. At that time, she manifested a very beautiful deity of Krishna, discovered, uncovered, and presented it to him. And that Krishna was known as Shyam Sundar. And from that moment, he received the name, instead of Dukhi Krishnadas, which means very sad Krishnadas, servant of Krishna, he received the name Shyam Ananda. Means who gives pleasure to Shyam and Shyama, right? Brajajanamana Sukakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam. So Shyam is Krishna, Shyama is Srimati Radhika. In Sanskrit, the conjugation of Shyam plus Ananda would be Krishna Ananda, who gives pleasure to Krishna, who is Shyam, but also Shyam Ananda can be Shyama and Ananda. The conjugation still becomes Shyamananda, and so who is giving pleasure to Shyam and Shyama? That is Radha and Krishna, who is giving happiness and pleasure to them. So he became known as Shyamananda. It is said, some people say that many were concerned why his tilak suddenly changed, and there was actually a controversy about that, because we should accept the tilak which has been given to us by our Gurudev. But who is the ultimate Guru? Who is the ultimate Guru?
Srimati Radhika.
Sudevi said Srimati Radhika. Now we say Bande Krishnam Jagat Gurum, right? He is the Guru of the entire universe. But Krishna himself says, Radhika Premer Guru Ami Shishyanata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. So, Krishna's own words. And when Srila Prabhupada speaks about this, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he says, so how great is Radharani? How great is Radharani? That Krishna is crazy for her. Everyone's crazy for Krishna, but he is crazy for her. So how great is Radharani? So this Shyamananda received the imprint of the ankle belt of Srimati Radhika on his forehead. And to this day, those who are following in his line, they wear a tilak which has a little bit of a different shape. It looks like the impression of an ankle belt. So today is the day of Sri Shyamananda Prabhu, Sri Shyamananda Prabhupada Ki Jai. And we were very fortunate. Well, right now we can't go out because of the lockdown, but generally, regularly we can go to Radha Shyam Sundar temple and serve and pray and offer our pranam to those Thakurji. But mercifully, they are manifest here as Sri Sri Radha Vinod Bihari, and we have Radha. So today is also Balaram Rasayatra. Now, Balaram Rasayatra is quite interesting. And many different Vaishnavas, very, very powerful, prominent Vaishnavas, like Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, so many, our Gurudev have given commentaries on Sri Baladev's Rasa Yatra. And these commentaries sometimes seem to contradict one another a little bit. And there's a reason for that. So I'm just going to prepare you in advance for the reason for that. And if anyone has any question anytime, you can send the question, write it, and I'll try to answer it as best I can for tomorrow.
If not today.
Because this topic is a little bit tricky. So, sometimes certain things are said according to time, place, circumstance, and according to those who would be reading it. For example, Srila Jiva Goswami, he told all of our Guru Varga after Srila Jiva Goswami have confirmed that some of the things he has said according to time, place, and circumstance for a particular audience. It's called, for those who have more worldly consciousness or don't actually understand rasa, vichar properly. Then he needs to give some ideas this way and that way. Even we've seen with our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he's given a few different ideas of Jiva Tattva. Some people have taken all 5 or 6 of these versions and blended it together and made a Frankenstein out of it and said, this is Jiva Tattva, but that's not the way it works. If there is some kind of what appears to be a variation or even a contradiction in any particular acharya's versions of something, then that would need to be cleared by any other Mahabhagavad Vaishnava who has an understanding of Tattva Siddhanta, Tattva Vichar, and Rasa Vichar. That is the proper path, or to consult with the previous acharyas. But only one who is actually a knower of truth can understand properly. So, Sri Baladev Prabhu came to Vrindavan on the request of Krishna at this time, this season, which is very pleasant. Not too hot, not too cold. At that time in Vrindavan, it was all beautiful and jungle. Especially this Vrindavan was a forest. It is said that Vrindavan, this where we are now, was not a populated place. This is the place where Krishna called the gopis in the middle of the night to come. And when they came running, he said, why did you run? It's dense jungle and so many fierce beasts and snakes and dangerous creatures here. So it wasn't like it was in Nanda Bhavan. It wasn't in Nandagaon or Barshana, where there was little towns where so many people resided. Vrindavan was very dense and very private. That's why Krishna was able to perform his Rasa Lila here. So just on the other side of Jamuna River, there's a place known as Ram Ghat. It's past Belvan that way. So Baladev came on the request of Krishna to Vrindavan for the purpose of pacifying the gopis, because they were in deep separation from Krishna. And when he came, what happened? A beautiful dance, water pastimes, water sports, and dancing took place. And also they were drinking baruni, which is like honey wine or honey rum. So it's a very special kind of juice. Coming from, Gurudev said, from some tree. We don't take it. But the Supreme Lord can do what he likes, and he's not subject to the rules of this material world. So Baladev Prabhu came. So there was a question. Wait a second. He's dancing with the gopis? Whose gopis are those? So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada gave a couple of different commentaries. One of them, he said, when Krishna was at Govardhan and there was holy pastimes taking place, it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that some of the gopis were looking toward Baladev, and Krishna signaled Baladev, look, they have some favoritism toward you. So those were the gopis Baladev danced with. This was one of the ideas. The other idea was there were some gopis who were too young, who did not get to take part in Krishna's Rasa Leelas before Krishna left Vrindavan. So then Baladev danced with those gopis. It is said like that, for the lokik, for the general public. Different ideas are there. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, our Gurudeva, is very, very favorably disposed toward whatever he says. Our Gurudeva has been quoted as saying that if you ever don't know the answer to anything, if you ever quote Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the answer will always be right. He had a special leaning toward the Brajrasi commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we should understand that Baladev Prabhu, although he is non-different from Krishna, same personality, like same person in two forms, still he has a particular nature. What is Baladev's nature? Ashray. Every particle of his being is made of loving service to Krishna. He has no selfish, enjoying tendency. His only mood is how to serve Krishna. So if you understand that subject and that perspective, that tattva, then it puts everything into place properly. Krishna wanted Baladev to come here and pacify the gopis. So what happened? Baladev came here, and Baladev and the gopis were remembering the pastimes of Krishna. It was beautiful springtime. All the flowers were blooming. The gopis were in deep separation from Krishna. And as Baladev was discussing the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis, remembering Krishna, they were experiencing a meeting, but also it was enhancing the feeling of separation. So what happened? They began to dance, remembering Krishna. Not as Baladev is enjoying the gopis, but as we might dance with our Gurudev in front of Krishna, in front of Thakurji, remembering the pastimes of Krishna. He's not enjoying us. He's engaging us in serving Krishna. So he wasn't there to enjoy the gopis. He was there to remember Krishna with the gopis. Very different conception. He's not there to enjoy the Rasalila. He's there to serve Krishna, because that's his intrinsic nature. In the process of remembering Krishna, if you recall, when Krishna left the Rasa dance after Sharad Purnima, Kartik time, this is during the month of Kartik, in the first full moon of Kartik. At that time, when Krishna left that Rasa dance, all the gopis were searching everywhere for Krishna. And in searching for Krishna, they began to do kirtan of Krishna all together. You have Gopi Geet. Tavakatamritam tatta jivanam kabibiriditam kalmashapaham. So they were doing kirtan of Krishna. And then as they were becoming more and more deeply absorbed in Krishna, they began to mimic the pastimes of Krishna. Because they were so absorbed, they were thinking, even some were thinking, I am Krishna. Like this, in their absorption. So Baladev Prabhu and the gopis were in such deep absorption, they began to dance, remembering Krishna, in glorification of Krishna. In the bhajan Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, there it says, Jaya Rama Ghata Jaya Rohini Nandan, Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Vasi Jatajan. Jaya Rama Ghata Jaya Rohini Nandan. So Rohini Nandan, Balaram, the son of Mother Rohini, he was there at Ramaghat. This is where I told you, on the other side of Jamuna, far. Also it is told in the Dashavatar Stotra. Yes, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember at the moment. Keshvadrita Haladar Rupa, but Kalindi Jamuna Jamunabham. So there, it is said that Baladev Prabhu took his plow. First he ordered Jamuna, you come. Why? Why did he order Jamuna to come? Because he was in the mood of Krishna, meditating on Krishna as being Dhir Lalit Nayak. Dhir Lalit Nayak means he becomes in such a mood that he wants to please and serve his devotees. So remembering Krishna's mood of Dhir Lalit Nayak, Baladev was manifesting this mood and wanted to cool and pacify the gopis who were dancing. So he called Yamuna, you come here. But this Yamuna, the original gopis of Krishna, like the main gopis, Srimati Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka, it is said that they were not present at that dance. But Yamuna is non-different from Vishaka. So how is it that Baladev had her come? It is said that one of her manifestations came. Not directly Vishaka, but she has many manifestations. One of those manifestations of Yamuna came, and Baladev Prabhu, how did he bring her? He took his plow and dragged her close. And so you see now, even today, how Jamuna's course, she's flowing like this, and then comes in like that, and then back out, where Baladev dragged her with his plow at Ramghat. So at that place, he called that manifestation of Jamuna, not the original Vishaka, but a manifestation of Jamuna to come, for the purpose of cooling and pacifying all of those gopis. Then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says something very interesting. He said, as they were remembering Krishna together, the separation bhav of those gopis became so intense, so acute, that all began to weep desperately in separation from Krishna. And Baladev could not help himself. He is Akhanda Guru Tattva, the origin of all Guru. Unbroken, original form of Guru. What is the function of Guru? To engage all in the service of Krishna. Anyone who is weeping in separation from Krishna, Sri Guru petitions the Lord profusely on their behalf. Today we sang this bhajan, Kabe Shri Chaitanya More, Koribena Doya. There it says, Shunya Amar Duk, seeing my intense suffering, Vaisnava Thakur, O Vaishnava Thakur, O Gurudev, Amalage Krishna ave dibena prachur. He will petition Krishna profusely on my behalf. And Vaishnavera ave dane Krishna doyamoy. Hearing their petition, their desperate calling, Krishna, who is supremely merciful, will hear that and he will bestow his mercy. This is why we take shelter of those who are near and dear to Krishna. So at this time the gopis were weeping in desperate separation from Krishna. And Baladev became also so intensely caught up in that mood of separation that it is said that he, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, said that he also expanded himself. Like Guru expands himself in the heart of each one of us, he expanded himself for every gopi. And he took them to a kunj and he petitioned, prayed on their behalf to Krishna, please manifest for them. And then Krishna himself personally manifested to each and every one of them and fulfilled all of their desires. This is what Gurudev does for us, seeing our condition. First, he reminds us of Krishna. He engages us in remembering and crying out for Krishna till it comes to such a point that he cannot bear to see our condition, our desperation, and he petitions Krishna desperately, please be merciful to them. And then Krishna cannot but help himself to follow the instruction of his nearest and dearest devotee, and he comes and he fulfills all of the desires of the devotee. So this is the essence of the mood of this pastime, Sri Baladev Rasayatra. So important for us. So important for us. So we call out to Guru like this, please give me your shelter. And then taking shelter of Gurudev, we begin to develop, by hearing that Harikatha, a mood of intense desire to serve Krishna. This means our Bhaktivedanta is growing. This Krishna Seva Vasana, the desire, the greed to serve Krishna becomes so intense and so acute that Gurudev makes that arrangement that we will be able to serve Krishna directly. So this is a very beautiful pastime. Sri Baladev Rasayatra Ki Jai. Also, so today's Hanuman Jayanti. Here in India, everyone's celebrating Hanuman Jayanti behind locked doors. But anyhow, you cannot hold back the excitement of the population of Indian people when it comes to glorifying their Hanumanji and Sri Ram and Krishna. They're all in their hearts completely dedicated and devoted. And any opportunity for a festival, they will take that. So today being Hanuman Jayanti, I've already spoken in the last 5-6 days so many beautiful pastimes of Hanuman. But Sudevi reminded me of something very interesting. That Hanuman also manifested in Gaur Lila. So there was one devotee, a very powerful, very great, intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was actually one of his childhood associates, wasn't he? His name is Murari Gupta. Now Murari Gupta had heard of everything that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preaching. Mahaprabhu collected all of the essences of all Shastras, and he was preaching it to everyone, everywhere he traveled throughout India. And he was indisputable, the indisputable champion of all philosophers. Even great personalities like Keshav Kashmiri were completely defeated by him. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all, and Advaita Acharya, all realized he is the Supreme Lord and they are simply his servants. So who could defeat Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and learning, is his humble servant. So what did anyone have on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So when he collected knowledge from Shastra, he collected all the proofs in such a way that it was indisputable. There was no way of cracking his knowledge. Everything was present very powerfully. So much so that everyone who he came in contact with, he was able to convince them. Except for some Buddhists. At that time they were offensive, and Garuda came, picked up the big offering tray and dropped it on the head of the leader. That's a different story. because their mood was shunyavad, means they don't even accept God, they want to just cease to exist. But other than that, all accepted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, including Murari Gupta, Anupam, and many others. But Murari Gupta, his heart was overflowing with natural love and affection for Sri Ram.
Kishori, Anupam accepted, but he also didn't change.
I just mentioned everyone accepted what Mahaprabhu said. I just mentioned some names.
Okay.
So this Murari Gupta, his heart was overflowing with affection for Sri Ram. And he felt that I cannot give up my affection for Ram, although I understand theoretically everything Mahaprabhu is telling about Krishna being the original. That even Lakshmi Devi is doing austerities in Belvan, waiting for the opportunity to be able to join Krishna's Rasalila. So, how great is the Vrindavan pastimes? How great is Radha and Krishna's pastimes? It's true. Krishna is the original. Srimati Radhika is Purna Shakti. He accepted it all, theoretically, but still his heart could not switch. He just couldn't. And so he decided, if I cannot accept what Mahaprabhu is giving, then I might as well just give up my life. I have no other recourse. Mahaprabhu understood his heart. And they had a conversation, and Murari Gupta revealed his heart to Mahaprabhu, that I accept everything you've told, but still I cannot give up my beloved Ram. And Mahaprabhu was so happy.
So let me give my life up.
Right, he actually admitted to Mahaprabhu, so I cannot give up Ram, and I cannot accept your instruction either, so I accept it theoretically, but I cannot follow physically your instruction fully, because I cannot. So his heart was torn, so I feel like giving up my life. Mahaprabhu was so happy to hear what Murari Gupta said. He said, of course you cannot give him up. He is your eternal Lord. He is your Ishtadev. In the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, so many eternal associates of the Lord manifested in different forms. And by the power of Yogamaya, they did not remember or realize who they were. But Mahaprabhu confirmed to Murari Gupta that you are none other than Hanuman. So it is only appropriate that Ram is your Ishtadev. You should have your one-pointed mood toward Sri Ram. So this is a very important lesson, that although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and not only Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Anya, Radha and Krishna combined, and he was endeavoring to convince all of these personalities, still being the Lord himself, even he did not change the intrinsic inherent swarup of Murari Gupta. It was always present within him. And that plays perfectly into the subject of going beyond Vaikuntha. So I just wanted to share this one pastime, because this is Hanuman in the form of Murari Gupta, showing that no matter what, even I accept it all theoretically, still my heart is only flowing toward my Ishtadev, Sri Ram. So Sri Murari Gupta Hanuman Ji Ki Jai.
In Sanatan Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it shows that he is the epitome of Premi Bhakta, but of Dasya Ras. So he...
Did you hear that? So Sudevi is saying that in Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatan Goswami, he's shown that Hanuman is the epitome of Prema Bhakti. He's the Premi Bhakta in Dasya Ras. So, Sri Murari Gupta, Sri Hanuman Ji Ki Jai. And today also is Krishna Vasanti Rasa. Which, no, we'll continue now. It's not so long. Because today's the day. So, Krishna Vasanti Ras. Vasanta is the spring season. There's actually a beautiful rag. It's called Vasant Rag, but I don't know it. And at that time, all are singing this beautiful sweet rag and doing so many pastimes. So, different than the pastimes which took place, the Rasalila pastimes which took place on Sharad Purnima, which is the first day of the month of Kartik. No, Kartik Purnima is the last one. Sharad Purnima is the first full moon. Yes, Sharad Purnima. And Kartik Purnima was the last one. So, different than that pastime. Interestingly, in that Rasalila pastime, Krishna, because Srimati Radhika disappeared from the Rasalila, Krishna was feeling something isn't right, because she is Purna Shakti. If she's gone, then I'm not feeling my normal happiness. So he also left to go and find her. But then all the other gopis went and started searching where to find Krishna. Krishna, feeling that they were all coming close, he was just about to take Srimati Radhika, but then he disappeared from that place. Was it Sringarbat? Yes. He disappeared from that place. And Srimati Radhika was weeping. Many gopis saw 2 sets of footprints in one particular place. Srimati Radhika had gone to Mansarovar, and Krishna had disappeared from that place. So the gopis came and they saw, and they said, Anayaradito nunam bhagavan hari ishvara yanno vihaya govinda pritoyam anayagraha. Whoever this gopi is certainly the most fortunate. But in the conversation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raya Ramananda, when Raya Ramananda told this to Mahaprabhu, he said, yes, but this still does not prove the supremacy of Srimati Radhika, because it seems that maybe Krishna disappeared because he may have had some concern that other gopis would catch him with this one. So then that means maybe it's not proving that she's the topmost. So Mahaprabhu was really driving Ramananda Roy to prove from Shastra that Srimati Radhika is Sarvakanta Shiromani, the crest jewel of all of Krishna's consorts. So, this brings us to Vasanti Rasa. So what happened? The full moon rose. Very beautiful. Today people were posting pictures of the full moon rising, and it was pinkish color. Even had a pink ring around it in many locations. It's a very special full moon. So, at this time, Krishna wanted to do rasa. He wasn't here specifically in Vrindavan, he was at Govardhan. There at Govardhan, it wasn't with all of the gopis, it was with a special group of gopis that is known as Svapaksha. Means Radhika and those who are favorable to Srimati Radhika. Svapaksha gopis. So a very intimate, personal kind of expression can be manifest in that Vasantaras. So there, Krishna and all of the gopis who were present began to perform a beautiful Rasalila pastime. It was so astonishing. It was there in, I can't remember the name of the place, near Chandra Sarovar, Paroli. So at that place, just near the foothills of Giriraj, beautiful Rasalila pastimes took place. And at that time, the moon was completely astonished. It is said that that pastime took place for an entire night of Brahma. We already established that's 4,320,000,000 years. How does that happen? It's Krishna and his eternal associates. So what is 4,320,000,000 years? But they were absorbed in their pastimes, dancing. So for a full night of Brahma, the moon was stunned and stood still, watching this beautiful pastime. It is said that that moon then melted in praying, witnessing these pastimes, and became the moon drop known as Chandra Sarovar. Chandra Sarovar means the Sarovar or the Kunda of Chandra. So the moon witnessing these pastimes melted in praying and became this Chandra Sarovar, which is near to Govardhan. So as they were performing their Rasalila pastimes, Srimati Radhika left that place. And Srimati Radhika, why did she leave? She also left the other one. Why did she leave? To increase Krishna's transcendental happiness. Remember before we talked about rasa. Rasa takes place in the realm of tension, of meeting and separation. So if there's some tension, some difficulty, some separation, it's like stretching a rubber band. It needs to come back together. It creates a certain kind of mood. And Srimati Radhika is expert in how to fulfill all of Krishna's desires. What's the name of Srimati Radhika, who is able or expert in fulfilling all of Krishna's desires? Can't remember at the moment, but it's there in the Sarvakanta Shiromani. Devi Krishnamayi Prokta, Radhika Paradevata, one of these. So, she's expert in fulfilling all of Krishna's desires. So what did she do? She left that place. Immediately Krishna left also. And he was searching for her. As he was searching for her, he couldn't find her. So it is said that he was there, kind of in the bushes behind the tree, and all of the gopis began searching for Krishna also. But they knew that he was searching for her. So as they were searching for Krishna, it is said that Krishna was in such a state of ecstasy, having seen the gopis searching for him, that he completely lost composure. This is in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prabhupada's purports and in the verses. And there he manifested a four-armed form. All of these gopis came to him and they saw Krishna. And it looked like Krishna, but he had four arms. And they were thinking, this is not our Krishna. So instead of saying, let's go and dance, they offered prayers. Oh, Srimad Narayan, please, have you seen Krishna? If you seen Krishna, please be merciful to us and direct us in the way where Krishna is. And then they continued on their way searching for Krishna. But just then, in the distance, Srimati Radhika came. And Krishna was standing there with his majestic four-armed form, feeling, look at me. He was thinking, I want to play a joke. Maybe if she saw me like this, it might be, fun. There, Prabhupada's writing this. But then, as he's standing there, just then, from a distance, Srimati Radhika was coming. He could not yet see her, but a breeze blew past her cloth and carried the fragrance of her body to his nostrils. At that time, Krishna was completely confused. What is this? What is this? It completely consumed him, and immediately he could no longer maintain this four-armed form. It completely controlled him, and immediately two arms came into his body, and he was standing there, holding his flute in his most beautiful threefold bending form. Shyamam tribhangalalitam niyata prakasham. Beautiful threefold bending form. And Srimati Radhika came in front of him. Do you want to tell what Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said? Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj explained at that time, when those two arms went back into him, they went back into his stomach. That's why that place is known as Paitagaon. It means where Krishna's arms went back into his stomach. Paita comes from pait, which means stomach. So he manifested this beautiful form, and Srimati Radhika came and stood in front of him. At that time, because Krishna was manifesting his most beautiful, charming, attractive form, he cannot help himself because he reciprocates with the love of his devotees. Who loves him more than Srimati Radhika? It's not possible for anyone else to love him more than her. She is his love potency personified. Mahabhav Swarupini Shri Radha Thakurani. So there, Krishna was standing in this most beautiful, charming form. But Chaitanya Charitamrita compares her to a spotless mirror. Whatever he manifests, she immediately doubles that and reflects it back at him. So, Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj said, as he was manifesting his beauty, she also reflected that beauty and became even more beautiful. And then he reciprocated with that and became more beautiful. And she reciprocated with that and became even more beautiful. It was like a transcendental beauty competition. Dynamically increasing beauty. At that time, all of those who were following behind her in her anugatya, they were able to witness these beautiful pastimes. Not only were they able to see that beautiful form of Krishna, Sakshat Manmata, beautiful form, Madan Mohan, who's attracting the minds of millions of cupids and attracting Srimati Radhika. Not only were they able to see that beautiful form of Krishna, but they were also able to witness the love between Sri Radhika and Sri Madhav. So those who were in Anugatya were able to see this. Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj said, those who went ahead independently, they were cheated of this amazing darshan, of the transcendental beauty, love competition of Sri Radha and Madhava. So this is the speciality of Vasantaras. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this pastime from Sri Ramananda Rai, he wanted him to go on, but then he realized no worldly person will be able to handle any more than this, and he stopped the conversation there. This Paitagaon, this Vasantaras Leela, is the pastime, which is the de facto pastime, proving the ultra supremacy of Srimati Radhika, not only above all other forms, all other Shaktis, but even above all other gopis. It is the victory place of Srimati Radhika. Rishabhanunandini Srimati Radha Thakurani Ki Jai. Now this is the speciality of Vasantaras. Srila Gurudev, he explained that this is very important for us if we want to attain the mercy of Krishna, if we glorify Srimati Radhika, and especially this pastime, that Krishna will be controlled. What does that mean? Controlled by love and affection and bound to give his mercy. So we honor this day with great delight. It is the day of the manifestation of the proof of Srimati Radhika's superiority and greatness over all others. And for those who are aspiring to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika, it is the best, greatest day, the best, greatest pastime. Sudevi? We can do the Santi Harinam if you want.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
Radhe Radhe.
जय जय श्री राधे,
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam. Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us. Join us tomorrow. See you then. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.